I wanted to point out before I get to his video, I wanted to point out a couple of things here. The first one is you guys have probably heard me say this before, is that when it comes to organizing societies, men tend to organize societies based on hierarchies. So there's like the chain of command, let's just say. So you got the admiral and you got the captains and the lieutenants and all the way down until you get to the private, right? Or you got the CEO, CFO, the COO, all the way down into the janitor, right? So there's always this sort of hierarchy of jobs, or hierarchy. The chain of command is basically what it ends up being. And that's more or less how men organize society. When women organize society, it's usually in the round. It's usually egalitarianism seems like a good idea to women, because women tend to organize societies based on communitarianism. So it seems better when, like, women are the vulnerable sex. And so when we're looking at hunter-gatherer societies, the hunters have to have sort of this pecking order. They have to have this hierarchy of who's going to coordinate the action, who's going to, like, Joe's a better hunter than Dave is. And, Dave's he's better at carrying the meat, or he can, dress the animal better and we can get it all back to thing. But, Mike over here is good at this kind of thing. So there's like this sort of like pecking order of like a hierarchy of whose job is more respectable and is more important, whatever, who gets more pussy, basically, who gets more meat and brings it back to the tribe. That's men in hierarchies. For women, they're the gatherers, they're the berry pickers, they're the ones they're the vulnerable sex. I didn't say the weaker sex, I said the vulnerable sex. And the reason why is because they have to go through pregnancy and they have to go through nurturing, and they're the nurturing sex, right? They're the ones that have to take care of the young, because we have very fragile children. A baby is, we have big head babies, right? We are a species that is important, and a species that is the dominant apex species on planet Earth, because I know this sounds counterintuitive, but we actually use our intelligence to kick ass, right? And the only way we can do that is if we invest in our young and we protect and we put, it's what selecting reproductive strategy, right? We put all of our eggs into one basket. We put all of our efforts into into a one specific child, or two specific child, and in some cases maybe up to 8 specific children, who knows, right? But the thing is we are very focused on one child at a time, whereas we're not like breeding like rabbits, right? We don't just like try to spread the seed and just say, okay, you're good to go, right? Or like, for instance, like a horse. When a horse gives birth to a pony or foal, right? That foal can run in 30 minutes. It can get away from danger, follow its mom, and get away from danger in about 30 minutes, maybe an hour. And but human beings are not like that. We need to be able to focus on our young and to raise our young and everything. And it's so, as a result, women are the vulnerable sex. They need, in our evolutionary past, women they still do today, need men for protection, provisioning, and parental investment. Those are the 3 beta traits. Okay. And say, there's lots of other alpha fuck traits we know, but the reason why women tend to be more communitarian, or have developed a communitarian sort of psyche, is because there's strength in numbers, there's security in numbers. So the group of women stay together. They circle the wagons, right? It seems a better way to organize society in the round, where everybody gets one. Okay, you get one, and you get one, and you get one, and oh, Becky, you are pregnant, so you get 2, and here you get one, and you get one, and so on and so forth. That's when women run societies, as they have become more influential and political, and have more social power, political power, since the sexual revolution, since the advent of hormonal birth control. We put more women in college. We put more women into positions of power. We put more women in the American workforce. We put more women into positions of power in politics. We have put more women into positions of power in religion. Over every aspect of the social fabric right now, we have put women into positions that they have never been in, or have been in a lesser capacity, right up until the last 60 years. So this is still a fucking experiment right now. But when we look at the social, what we think of as sort of egalitarianism, it's better if everybody's equal. It's better if everybody's 50-50. That's why we get into marriage and we say, oh, marriage is an equal partnership. I'm going to pay for the date. I'm going to pay for the date too. We're going to split the date. We're going to go Dutch. That was never even a conversation prior to the sexual revolution. Now it's 50-50. When I say women have become the men that they wanted to marry, that wasn't a discussion. That wasn't even a conversation prior to 1965. That's not a Rollo Tomasi quote. That's a Gloria Steinem quote. So a woman needs a fish like a fish needs a bicycle. We don't need men, which you do need men, but we've gotten to the point where we become so comfortable and we become so, as I was saying, we prior to Joe coming on, I'm saying when we become accustomed and acclimated to certain things, and that becomes normal, we're now thinking that the normal way of doing something is to do society in the round. That's why you get things like the participation trophy society. I love it when I listen to somebody say, well, these kids today, they're not competitive and we have the participation trophies and everybody's a winner. So that is straight out of the egalitarian playbook. That is straight out of the way that women organize society in the round. So when you look at socialism, when you look at communism, for whatever passes for it these days, when you look at collectivity, when you look at egalitarianism, when you look at how women organize society, the reason why we even tolerate something called the Democratic Socialist Party in the United States right now is because we have allowed women into political power right now. And their first reflexive way of organizing society and maintaining political power is in the round, is in saying that this is an egalitarian collective. We have a union. We have a whatever it is, anything that is a societal collective. There is no more feminine a way of organizing society than socialism, than communism, than collectivism, than egalitarianism, all of that great stuff. Okay. That's why this seems logical. And nothing backs that up better than Enlightenment era thinking when it comes to the blank slate. If everybody is equal, if everybody has equal worth, if all men are born equal, if genetics don't make any, that's why you want to know why women, especially women and feminists and liberal thinking men as well, what cuttlefish, like male feminists. One of the reasons why they think that this is a logical way of doing things is because of Enlightenment era thinking, because of the blank slate. The blank slate is a dead meme. It has been nature versus nurture was answered a long time ago, and it is nature all the fucking way. How do we know that? Because all you got to do is look up the 4 laws of genetic behaviorism. We have plotted the human genome. That's why I was laughing at that one guy in the video there was talking about, 80% of men are disgusting to women. No, that's actually not what it said. It just said 80% of men are deemed unattractive by women. They didn't say, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. Then there's the clip. That's not what they were saying. They're just saying that those men are unattractive. Oh, that means that 20% of men are attractive. No, it doesn't. It means they're not unattractive. It didn't say they were attractive. They might do. They're if he has value added, maybe. Remember, 4.5% of men are actually the Justin Wallers of the world. Those are the women that women will actively initiate something with. Will you please, for the love of Christ, read that research by Steve Stewart Williams and everybody drink Dr. David Buss, right? Just read those and you will understand this, and you won't be misquoting and putting out fake news and misinformation. Bald boomer dude. I don't know who that guy was. But anyways, so doing society in the round, communism, liberalism, communitarianism, all of that is a female way of organizing society. So when you've got guys coming up to a Charlie Kirk open debate forum, what you're looking at is a clash between a hierarchical way of seeing the world versus an in the round egalitarian way of seeing the world. And the problem is that the real natural reality evolved world has a hierarchical basis to it, has a hierarchical like bias to it. That's why patriarchy was not something that was invented by men to crush the souls of poor women. It's because that was the most logical way of organizing society prior to the sexual revolution, prior to the advent of an invention that would allow one sex to determine who gets born and who doesn't. If we're going to go, I was just talking about Elon Musk. If we're going to talk about the fertility crisis, I lay that at the feet of women, because women are the ones who are in control of the birth. They're the ones that have hormonal birth control. And that wasn't enough. So now we have to have on-demand, safe, legal abortion. Look at those two inventions right there. You kill the conversation. I don't care what else comes after that. If you want to know why we have a fertility crisis, not just in the United States, but all over the world, all over the industrialized like first world nations and stuff like that, Japan for sure, Korea is going to disappear. Why? Because of feminism and the militant feminism that came as a result of hormonal birth control, the sexual revolution, putting women into positions of power. And am I mad about that? No, it just is what it is. And I'm going to channel my turd flinging monkey right here. If you really want a solution to this, the only solution is to take away women's rights. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm actually going to agree with turd flinging monkey. Am I going to try to set anything in motion? Do I think that that's going to happen? No, I don't. And neither does he, for that matter, either. But the thing is that's really the only solution at this stage. Or the meteor strikes, or there's warfare, which looks highly likely now. Right? But the reason why you see women celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, or the reason why you see that guy who was like in the front row going, yeah, when Charlie got gunned down, the reason why you see that is because that egalitarian, liberal female mindset, it's not real to them yet. It's a video game right now. That's why they feel comfortable popping off about like, yeah, he got what's coming to him. He got what he deserved, all this other stuff. And then they're crying in the next video about, I lost my job. Where? At Barney's Coffee. And they're surprised and shocked. And of course, it's very satisfying for traditional tradcons, conservatives, whatever, to see like, oh, they're happy and they're, popping off. And then suddenly, no, they're crying because, what is it? Fucked around and found out, right? or what is it? Instantly regretted it. If you want, karma. If you want your YouTube short or your video, whatever, to instantly go viral, all you have to do is so-and-so did this. Instantly regrets it. That's all that instantly regrets. That's all this is, right? If I went and I said, Rollo Tomasi talks about this, instantly regrets it, or rage quit. Put rage quit in the title, instant virality. I'm sorry. That's just how it goes, right? Here you go. Give Kyle a Don DeMarco. That was for you, Kyle. Instantly regrets it. But and people love that. They're eating that up. And Ryan Stone is like Voltaire right now. Ryan's just like, he just makes fun of everybody on both sides because he sees the grift from both sides. And I vaya con Dios, man. But the reason why women are the ones that are overwhelmingly the ones, like, yeah, I see these guys and I figured this was going to happen. You see these guys on the streets, and these on the street videos with their, man on the street with a microphone. Like, what did you think of the Charlie Kirk assassination? Well, I think he deserved it. And it's not guys, it's always women. And they pop off and they're like laughing and dancing. And then they instantly regret it, right? But the reason why they're doing that is because they're comfortable. Because they don't see a human. They see a video game. The blood coming out, that's not real. That's just pixels, right? That's not a real human being who was just cut down in front of his wife and his kids. Yeah, that guy thinks it's a video game, and he feels comfortable doing that because he thinks everyone agrees with him. Same thing with the women. They feel comfortable in popping off about like, yeah, he got what he had coming to him. Oh, he was a racist, a bigot, a misogynist, this, that. what Trantifa. He hated Trantifa and all this stuff. And he's not a human being. You want to talk about dehumanizing? This is the dehumanizing side. And it all comes from one mindset. Egalitarianism comes from that communitarian, like we're all in the round. We all agree with each. Hey, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? You know who first came up with that? Some chick. Am I right? You know somebody that it was a woman that came up with that, right? And so when you're looking for that consensus, the idea that everybody agrees with you, the funny thing is then you see like these teachers who are getting like losing their tenure, or these people who are losing their positions and as you're losing their jobs. You're not losing your job because of you're exercising your freedom of speech. Your employer doesn't want to be associated. He doesn't want his company, his hierarchical company, to be associated with someone of your opinion. Because what happens is now he loses money. Now he loses sales because, oh, your company is about this? Well, then I don't want to buy your product anymore. Oh, well, what if I fire this bitch? Okay, then I'll buy your product. That's all it boils down to. It's just numbers on a ledger at that point. Same thing with Oxford Society and the black dude with the dreadlocks making fun of Charlie Kirk, who he actually met and sat across from, right? He's not even seeing him eye to eye. Charlie's not a human being. He's just a video game character. It's not real blood. It's just pixels, right? It's just Unreal Engine. That's all it is. It's Halo. it's Call of Duty, Space Marine 2. But the reason why is because they don't see you with that side doesn't see you as human. The egalitarianism doesn't see you as human. It only sees themselves, their own tribe. And that's really what this kind of boils down to, is tribalism. And I want to point this out is I don't see tribalism as a bad thing. I think tribalism is a feature of human nature, and it's not a bug. It's just, can it be used? It's like fire, right? It can be used for good or for evil. It's like tribalism has been a strength of human existence for a very long time. It's when you use it in ways that are detrimental to human life, then yeah, obviously. But tribalism has always been a thing, and it always will be a thing, right? Yeah, and yeah, you're right. It is. It's all over the world. It's Poland. I got you. Thank you. So I've written essays about this before. It's like the way that women organize society is different than the way that men organize society. And the longer we have women in positions of power, the more this is it's gonna come due. And when Charlie Kirk was killed, this is when this is gonna come due. I see what's going on in the UK right now. And it's not 100,000 protesters. It's millions of protesters out in the streets in London and everything else. And so who's trying to downplay this? A journalistic society that has been raised on communitarianism and egalitarianism and a female way of organizing society. They can't repress it anymore. And so what's going to happen is this. We're running into a position where we are having a conflict, not just between hierarchies and egalitarian ways of establishing society. We're looking at a difference between empiricism and emotionalism.